Done! Hey guys, welcome to my third and final video about headrest speakers. In my previous videos I've installed speakers in my headrest. I explained what kind of impedance the new speakers need to be and how to wire them. If you didn't see those videos already, click here and here, or check the links from those videos in the description. Today we're going to run the new cables from my head unit and connect them to my new headrest speakers. I'm going to run my new cables from my head unit under the center console to the back and then split the cables to each seat. We also need to run some cables from the headrest speakers down to the bottom of the seat. The first thing you need to do when you're doing electrical work is disconnect the battery. I have a switch, so I can just flip the switch and my battery is disconnected. But if you do not have a switch, then remove the negative battery terminal. The next step is removing the center console. You start by twisting off the gear knob. After that you have a couple of screws to remove. I have the aftermarket console, but the OEM console has 2 screws in the front, there, and on the other side 1 in the middle and 2 in the back. But as you can see, I don't have 1 in the middle, and those are the 2 in the back.
Ryan Little.
After you remove the screws, pull the center console slightly up and forward so it will clear the levers in the back. Turn the console around and disconnect any wires. Now you can remove the console. To remove the tombstone you need to remove 3 screws. The one at the bottom is easy, that's that one. But there are 2 more behind the vents, so you need to remove the vents. To remove the vents, you need to pull them out. And there are a couple of ways to do that. You can insert a string or a shoelace, but the problem with that technique is that it's difficult to pull the shoelace or the string back through. So I recommend using something more sturdier, like electrical wire. Bend it like this and then feed it through the vent. Grab both ends and pull straight back. Do this for both vents. Yes, it needs a lot of force. Alright, second one. Same technique. Electrical wire. Grab it with both hands and pull. There we go. The screws that we were looking for are here and there. So now we can remove the screws. Before we can remove the tombstone, we need to take out the radio. So we'll first start with removing the bezel, like so. And then we will take these 2 thingies, I don't know what it's called, but with this you can remove the radio. You put them on the sides here, push them in, and they will hook on the radio and you can pull it back. Pull it all the way forward and disconnect all the cables at the rear. Now the last step is to remove the last screw down here, and then we can remove the tombstone. Push back the cables and then pull it forward. don't forget to disconnect the connection at the back of the tombstone. As you can see, the center console and tombstone are out. I will continue tomorrow because it's getting a little bit late, but with editing it's not a problem for you guys. So there we go. There we go. Alright, let's continue with the wiring. These are all the wires for my head unit. Check your manual to find out which wires you need to use to connect your headrest speakers. In my case, these two wires are the left rear channel and these two wires are the right rear channel. The next step is to connect speaker wires to both channels to run the wires to the seats. Just a little tip, use some good wires. These are 100% copper. And as you can see, I already replaced the standard wires for my door speakers with some really good 100% copper wires. And I'm going to use the same for the speakers in the back. There are a couple of ways to connect the speaker wires to the channel wires. You can strip the wires, twist them together and finish them off with some electrical tape. But if you want a good solid connection, you need to solder the wires together. If you want to know more about soldering, check out this video about soldering wires and connectors. You can find the link to this video in the description. So the left and the right channel are done. And I also labeled the speaker wires so you know which channel is which. Now that all the necessary wires are connected, we're going to route them through this hole on the left side. Now that the cables are routed down here to the side, we can reinstall the tombstone. And don't forget the connection in the back, because if you forget this one, your lights won't go up or down.
Ryan Little.
Be sure to connect all the wires when installing your radio. Right, that's it for the tombstone. Now the center console. Because the markings which wires is which will be under the center console, I'll be marking the left rear channel so that I know that this one is the left rear. Don't forget this part that goes over your shift knob. Reconnect any wiring. Then first start by sliding the back over the levers. I forgot to take off the gear knob. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. And for the final step, screw the center console in place. And then finally we put the gear knob back on. Be sure that it's tight and straight. And that's it. Now that we have the wires from both channels in the back of the car, we need to run the wires to both seats. If I connect the wires directly to the headrest speakers, I can't take the seats out anymore. So that's why I'm going to use these connectors. These 4-pin connectors are normally used in computers, but they are perfect for the job. Now before you run the wires to the seats, you have to decide if you want to connect the headrest speakers in parallel or in series. As I explained in my previous video, I'm going to connect my headrest speakers in series. All the cables can become confusing, so I labeled every wire so that you can see where the wire will need to be connected to. RS means right seat right speaker and RS means right seat left speaker. The same goes for the other seat. To connect the speakers in series, the positive lead of the left channel will be connected to the left speaker. Then the negative lead of that speaker will be then routed and connected to the positive lead of the other left speaker. Then the negative lead of that speaker will be connected to the channel itself. I know it can be a bit complicated, but if you use the diagram in my previous video, it makes more sense. I will now run and solder all the necessary wiring and the connectors. Both channels are now wired to the connectors, and I marked the left channel as you can see. This is the positive lead and this is the negative lead. Both positive leads are going to the left and right speakers of the left seat, and both negative leads are going to the left and right speaker of the right seat. And now the only step I need to do is connect the negative leads from the speakers to the positive leads of these speakers. Alright, the positive connectors are wired to the negative connectors, so this part is all done. And I'm going to route these cables underneath the carpet. And for that you need to remove this part. And I have a little trick, because you can do it by hand like this, but you will break your carpet for sure, or these clips. So what I have here is a bent fork, and you can pry it. Well, it's really difficult with one hand, but you can pry it between the carpet and then wedge it up, and then it will pop loose. Those are the wires from the right seat, and those are the wires from the left seat, and I ended up removing also this one and that one. And now you can put the carpet back, and when you put the seats back you won't see the cables. Now that the connectors are in place, we can start by wiring the headrest speakers. To do that we need to remove the seat. That's really easy. There are two 14mm bolts in the front. And also two in the rear.
Ryan Little.
Start by opening up the headrest and removing the headrest speakers. Turn the seat around so you can access the back of the seat. Normally you would have some metal clips here, like these ones, that holds the seat cover in place. But I did a foamectomy, so I replaced the metal clips with zip ties. Remove these clips so you can access the back of the seat. As you can see, my seats already have some wiring. They were added by the guy who changed my seat covers. Because I want to use my own speaker wire, I'm using the old wire to pull the new speaker wire through. So I hope this will work. There we go. And of course you need two pairs of wires, one for each speaker. And for those of you who do not have old speaker wires you can use, there's a hole here in the seat, and this hole will lead to the back of the seat, and then if you put your hand all the way up to here, you can feel the wire and just pull it down. To connect the wires to the speakers, I'm now going to solder on these connectors to the speaker wire. Check out the second part of my soldering video if you want to know how you can make these connectors. As you can see, all the connectors are soldered on to the wires. I also added some tape to the left channel, so I know which channel is which. The next step is to connect it to the speakers. Be sure you connect the right wire to the right polarity. As you can see, my speakers do not have a marked polarity. You have the same problem as me? Check out this video on how to check the polarity, made by Johnnyshop. You can find the link to this video in the description. I thought the left terminal was the positive terminal, but as it turned out, the right terminals are the positive terminals. So it's good that I checked it. Now that I checked the polarity of the speakers, I can connect them to the wires. Remember, left channel, left speaker. The last thing we need to do is to solder this end of the connector to those wires and then close the seat cover. The connector is on and I made the wires a little bit longer so that you have extra wire in case you need to replace the connector. So now you can push the wire up the seat cover and then close it again with some tie wraps. This seat is ready, so we can reinstall the seat and connect the seat to the wire harness. The moment of truth. There we go. Seat back. And now we hope it works. Now I'm going to do the same to the passenger seat. Second seat finished. So now let's get it in the car and see if it works. Alright guys, both seats are done. I installed them, connected them, and now for the big moment, are they going to work? I selected the fader for the speakers in the rear, so the speakers in the front won't give any sound, so then I immediately know if they work or not, so fingers crossed. They work!
This is a Ryan Little production.
Done! So I know it was a long video, but as always I want to give you guys all the necessary information to do this by yourself. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more MiataMods videos. And good luck with your own surround sound setup. Bye guys!